When a well-liked character dies in a movie, the goal is often to make the audience sad. Even though it might seem like a bad move, it helps the movie connect with them and makes them like the movie more. Other times, it happens in the last scene, which is hard but makes the story memorable. Now, in this video, we're gonna talk about the saddest movie deaths. First off, at number 14, we have John Coffey, The Green Mile. Almost everyone who has seen The Green Mile has cried over John Coffey's death. He was black and grew up during the Jim Crow era when racism was very bad. He's wrongly accused of a crime, but throughout the movie, it becomes clear that Coffey isn't a criminal and is in fact a very kind man. He also has a supernatural gift that is very special. Even though he becomes close with his jailer, he's still put to death. Coffey is very upset, and even the white people who are putting him to death are crying as they do it. This makes the scene even worse. A Reddit user shared this answer and said that he cries every time he sees the scene. At number 13, we have Billy, Dan, Amanda, and Irene, The Mist, 2007. The movie's ending is heartbreaking no matter how many times we rewatch it. Did you know that the movie ends differently than the book? But Stephen King said he wished the book had ended that way. When the author of the book said he liked the movie's ending better than the book, you know the ending is good. The Mist is based on a short story by Stephen King, who's known for writing scary stories. The story is about a group of people who make it out of a strange fog that covers their town and traps them in a supermarket. There are a lot of strange creatures in the mist, which makes it dangerous to go outside. The end of the movie hits you in the gut hard, and in a tragically ironic way. The main character, David, played by Thomas Jane, decides to leave the supermarket with his son and 3 other survivors in David's car. They're stuck in the fog until they run out of gas. David shoots the others, including his son, because he sees no other way out. Then he faces the mist and begs the monsters to kill him so he can end his pain. The military arrives seconds later and clears away the fog. David then realizes what a terrible thing he has done, and they just might have been okay if he just waited a few minutes longer. His screams of pain don't make the terrible situation any better either. At number 12, we have Bruno and Shmuel, The Boy in the Striped Pajamas, 2008. The ending of The Boy in the Striped Pajamas is a lot like the ending of The Mist. Several characters die, and it's done in a painful way. This answer was posted on a Reddit account which said that when the music stops, it's the end of The Boy in the Striped Pajamas, and you can't help but cry. Bruno, the son of a Nazi, befriends Shmuel, a Jewish boy who's being held in a concentration camp. Bruno ends up getting into the camp by pretending to be a prisoner so he can play with Shmuel. In the end, he's forced to join a large group of other prisoners and is gassed by the Nazis. Bruno's family finds out too late what's happened. His mother's screams of horror are some of the most disturbing sounds ever heard on film. Not only is it sad, but many people think that Bruno's father is getting what he deserves because he has to deal with the results of his backward worldview. Now, at number 11, we have Rue in The Hunger Games, 2012. The Hunger Games is mostly about Katniss Everdeen's strength and power, but Rue also makes a big impression. Rue is a tribute from District 11, and she and Katniss decide they should help each other. One Reddit user wrote about how sad Rue's death is. You can't help but cry during the movie, and when you read the book. No one is safe in this cruel world, and Rue can't do anything to stop it. The first movie in the series is one of Amanda Stenberg's best because of how well she acts in it. At number 10, we have Allie Hamilton and Noah Calhoun in The Notebook, 2004. Every movie based on a Nicholas Sparks book has a sad story, but seeing Allie Hamilton and Noah Calhoun die at the same time at the end of this one is heartbreaking. At the end of the movie, Allie, who has dementia, gets sicker, and Duke has a heart attack. Even though it's touching that the characters can be together in their last moments, the scene is still hard to watch. So much time has gone by with these people. Coming up at number 9, we have Irwin Wade, Saving Private Ryan. Wade, the medic of the squad in the bloody World War II movie Saving Private Ryan, is played by Giovanni Ribisi. Even though he has been trained to save lives, he's one of the first from his squad to die. A Reddit user says that this scene is so sad because he went from a full-grown soldier to being a helpless child. Another user then added that his last moments were spent crying, not because of the pain from his wounds, but because he was about to die and didn't want to accept it. At number 8, we have Jenny Curran in Forrest Gump, 1994. People think that Forrest Gump is one of Tom Hanks' best movies, and his role as the main character has never been forgotten. When Jenny Curran dies, there's also a sad death scene in the movie. Jenny and Forrest become friends when they're young, and then when they're older, they get married. Even though it's not said in the movie, fans have talked about how Jenny died of HIV/AIDS in the years since it came out. It's terrible to see Forrest lose someone he cared so much about. Next up, at number 7, we have Ellie in Up, 2009. A Redditor user said that the death of Ellie in the movie Up is the saddest death in a movie, and many people immediately think of this. The movie is known for its opening scene, which doesn't hold back and is is full of emotion. A lot of fans said that it's a sign of brilliant filmmaking when we can care about a character so much that we're crying after just 10 minutes of footage with no dialogue. At the beginning of the movie, Carl Fredricksen falls for Ellie, and the audience sees how they get along. He's about to tell her about a dream vacation when she gets sick and dies. From the very beginning, people can feel how much the characters love each other. At number 6, we have Brooks Hatlin in The Shawshank Redemption, 1994. One Redditor talked about how sad it is when Brooks Houghton dies in The Shawshank Redemption. The fan wrote, "The letter he reads about how the world has changed is so sad. The world went and got itself in a big damn hurry." One of the most powerful parts of the movie is the death scene. Brooks has been in prison for 50 years and has been given parole. He has a hard time when he's not in prison. After spending time with this character, it's very sad to see what's happening. At number 5, we have The Passengers, Titanic, 1997. Many people think that Jack's death is the saddest in Titanic, but the deaths of the other passengers who didn't have names were much sadder, especially the people in third class who had no way to get off the sinking ship. One of the moms puts her little kids to bed, and an old couple lies on the bed together as the water pours in. You don't see them drown, but you know they do. What's even sadder is the fact that the old couple is based on a real couple with the last name Strauss, who died on the ocean liner that sank. Moving on, at number 4, we have Wilson, Castaway, 2000. Wilson is just a volleyball, but he was important to Tom Hanks because the volleyball was his only friend, and the only thing that reminded him of people for years. Wilson doesn't really die per se, but he does die in our hearts. When the escape raft goes wrong, he gets separated from Chuck and floats farther and farther away. It breaks his heart that his only friend and constant companion has died. Who knew that something that doesn't move could make someone feel so sad? At number 3, we have Boromir, The Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring, 2001. Boromir, played by Sean Bean, is a bit of a morally ambiguous character. He has good intentions, but the ring corrupts him too easily. When the Uruk-hai attacks him and the Fellowship at Amon Hen, he bravely gives his life to protect Pippin and Merry. He gets hit in the chest with several arrows, and when the dust settles, he shows his true good-hearted self as he dies in the arms of Aragorn, whom Boromir admired the most. At number 2, we have Leslie Burke, Bridge to Terabithia, 2007. Leslie Burke, played by Anna Sophia Robb, is the first real friend that Jesse has. She's always telling him to have a more open mind and use his creativity. They get along so well and have a relationship that is so funny. They make up a world called Terabithia together. The only way to get there is to swing a rope over a river. Leslie goes to Terabithia by herself one day when Jesse has other plans. When the rope breaks, she falls into the river and drowns. Even though her death is never shown on screen, it's how the other characters deal with it that makes it sad. And finally, at number 1, we have Dobby, Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, Part 1, 2010. Dobby, played by Toby Jones, is one of the most popular Harry Potter characters because of how funny he is when he first shows up and how innocent he seems. But in the next to last episode of the series, he dies in a sad way. Bellatrix Lestrange, as Dobby and his friends disappear, throws a knife at him, which hits him in the stomach. He dies while being held by his best friend on a beautiful beach. Even though he is happy with his death, that doesn't make it any less sad. And with all that, that's a wrap for this video. Which movie death made you cry the most? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more exciting content in the future. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.